When I say COTI at the price of $5, a lot of people, they may think, whoa, that's insane. Caralho, porra. Because COTI at the price of $5, some of those critics out there, right? They don't like hearing that term. But in my opinion, COTI, man, this could very well be a reality for it during this bull run. And of course, that's not financial advice. But when we take a look at COTI, right, its fundamentals are really A+. And I think this right here is going to be such a major factor, which could very well allow for it to reach great heights during the peak of this bull run. You know, COTI, it's already done very well as of late, much like I predicted. But even besides that, you know, enough boasting, I still think that the best days are still ahead, because when I initially started talking about COTI, they were focused on payments. And the payments market, by the way, it's no joke. As of right now, it's valued at over $2 trillion. And you got to think about this, right? The GDP of Canada back in 2022, it was around $2 trillion. So really, the payments market is no joke. But ever since I started talking about COTI, they're saying, nah, you know, that's not good enough for us. We got to keep improving. And that is why COTI is now shifting their focus and becoming a layer 2 solution for Ethereum. And now, when I say a layer 2 solution for Ethereum, some people out there, their main argument is the fact that, I mean, are you serious? Caralho, porra. They may think that there's so many layer 2s out there, right? They may argue that, hey, there's Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum, right? They say Myria, and many others. They think that, the list goes on and on and on. What makes you think that COTI is going to be able to differentiate itself from the pack? And I'm going to get to that later, but I first want to mention how I think this right here is very similar to in the world of cars. Because, for instance, we take a look at, there's so many car brands out there, right? We take a look at Kia, there's Nissan, there's, you know, Toyota, Tesla, Rivian. You know, it goes on and on and on. BMW, whatever, you name it, right? But why are these car brands all able to survive, quite essentially? Why are they able to do so amazing? And I think the reason for that is because the car market, it's massive. That's what she said. And each car brand, it has its own fans, and it has its own unique selling point. And I think that right there is going to apply to the world of layer 2s for Ethereum. And the reason for that is because Ethereum, the ecosystem is massive. So yeah, sure, there may be a lot of layer 2s out there, but I think a lot of them will still have a place, especially the good ones. And I think COTI really has the potential to be one of the best out there, because when you think about it, it's privacy-centric. You know, it's heavily focused on privacy. You know, a lot of layer 2s out there, they may not be necessarily heavily focused on privacy. So I think that right there really does give COTI a unique competitive advantage. Quite essentially, it gives it a unique selling point. You know, I think that COTI really did such a smart thing by being focused on privacy, because let's face it, right? We all love privacy. I mean, there's a reason why incognito window exists. If you know, you know. But yeah, besides that point, when it comes to COTI, they clearly understand that, hey, privacy, you know, it's a major issue as of right now. People want privacy. And again, that's why it's heavily being focused on privacy. I think it's such a genius move. And keep in mind, when we take a look at COTI at the price of $5, a lot of people out there, they like to cringe, right? They think that, man, this is so, you know, such an unrealistic price target for COTI. But is it really? You got to think about this, right? COTI at the price of $5, considering its current circulating supply, at that point, market cap around $7.9 billion, which I don't think is too much to ask for. I mean, this is insane. You know, this isn't like a market cap that's uncharted territory. It's not like it's never been reached before. I mean, even if we take a look at this, right? For instance, we take a look at the current market cap of Dogecoin as of right now. You know, I'm not talking about Dogecoin back in 2021. I'm not talking about that, right? I'm talking about right now. Its market cap is currently around $22 billion, which is ridiculous. Also, you take a look at SHIB, current market cap as of right now, around $16 billion, right? So you think about it, it's around 7.9 billion. Let's say for simplicity's sake, we say it's 8 billion. Is it too much to ask for? I think not. You know, it's not too ridiculous. At least that's the way I view it. Now, SHIB and Doge, you know, even as of right now, they have insanely high market caps. But back in 2021, SHIB's market cap at one point was around 40 billion. Doge, at one point, it was around 88 billion. So again, right, even if we compare, you know, an $8 billion market cap to SHIB and Doge right now, it sounds very comical. You know, it's so low, right? But especially compared to back in 2021, it's even more comical. So around an $8 billion market cap, it's not really too much to ask for, in my opinion. Now, yeah, sure, these meme coins, they have a lot of fans, but you got to take into consideration, COTI, it's a very amazing project. So, yeah, sure, it may lose out on the fans, but I think in terms of its utility and fundamentals, man, I think it really does kind of level out the playing field, so to speak, right? So I think it's still a fair comparison nonetheless. And people, for whatever reason, they think that this bull run is going to be very bad. They think that, 2021, it was kind of flash in the pan. You can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. But in my opinion, I actually disagree with this because, yeah, sure, in real life, for instance, right? For example, we take a look at athletes, we take a look at singers, musicians, actors. Sometimes they do very well for one movie, or let's say they do something that's very special, and they kind of can't repeat it again. But in my opinion, in the world of cryptocurrencies, it's very different than that because when you think about it, 2021, in my opinion, it wasn't the peak for what cryptocurrencies could be because at that time, there was very little enterprise adoption, especially when compared to as of right now when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Not many enterprises really viewed cryptocurrencies as a way of investing, especially back then, right? Now it's very different. But you got to take into consideration, even back in 2021, crypto owners was only around 300 million. Now you take a look at today, around 575 million. Also on top of that, more institutional adoption than ever before. So 2021, it was already crazy, right? But at that time, really, I think we haven't even seen anything yet for what cryptocurrencies could be. So I think what we're seeing right now, man, I mean, when there's this much, bullish factors going for the world of cryptos, just overall, not just for COTI, I think that this altcoin season is going to look so legendary. And think about this, right? Bitcoin, in my opinion, it hasn't reached its peak yet because, yeah, sure, it did break its all-time high price, not too long ago. But in my opinion, the best days are still ahead because, again, when there's over, 500 million people owning cryptocurrencies as of right now, I think the bull run is far from over. And think about this, right? When Bitcoin breaches the price of $100,000, 150, even beyond that, right? Eventually, the smart people, they're going to take profits. And what's going to happen? A lot of the capital, it's going to flow into altcoins and relatively smaller projects, much like COTI. And I think when that happens, the altcoin season, boom, it's really going to kick into fifth gear. But it's just a matter of time. And historically speaking, if we take a look back in history, this usually happens anywhere between 6 to 12 months after a Bitcoin halving event. And keep in mind, Bitcoin halving event, it hasn't happened yet, right? It's expected to happen next month. So if you take that into consideration, either 6 months to 12 months after April, that's still a very long time, right? So a lot of people, they're getting impatient for COTI, even though it's already done very well, by the way. Some people are saying, wow, these other altcoins, they did a 50x or whatever the case may be. They say that, oh, wow, look at Dog with Hat. It reached the billions in market cap. But here's the thing. There's an old saying that says every dog will have its day, right? Or something very similar like that. And that goes to show that everyone will have their time to shine. Yeah, sure, these other altcoins, they're popping off. But in my opinion, if anything, COTI, it's a sleeping giant. Yeah, sure, it's had a decent pump as of late, but I think the best days are still ahead. A lot of people, they're complaining that, wow, why hasn't COTI, done a 70x or 69x or something like that? But in my opinion, if anything, it's actually a good thing because it's more time for me to dollar cost average into COTI. And COTI, in my opinion, man, it's something so amazing for me. I'm continuously dollar cost averaging. Anytime I earn income, I set aside some for COTI because I believe in it. I keep accumulating. I hold quite essentially, and I just wait for the peak. I don't day trade. I don't use leverage. I don't do any of that type of stuff whatsoever. I like to keep things simple. I dollar cost average. I really don't understand why a lot of people out there, they make a video on COTI, but all they do is that they pull up a chart. They draw a random triangle. I don't know if they're trying to draw their Grandma's G-string, thong, ding-dong, bratwurst extender, or Lee the Captain edition G-string. I don't know what they're trying to draw, right? But they say, oh, wow, you got a short, you got a long, you got to do all this. But they never mention the fact that COTI, it's very fundamentally fantastic. They never mention how amazing it could be, right? As a layer 2 solution for Ethereum that's privacy-centric. They never mention this. And they just focus on what happens to the price in the next 10 hours, next 5 minutes. It's complete nonsense, in my opinion. Why even focus on that? I'm focused on the fundamentals. I'm focused on what it could be, especially during the peak of this bull run. I could care less what happens to the price of COTI, in the next 10 minutes. Because, of course, the peak of the bull run is not going to happen in the next 10 minutes or even in the next, 20 hours or something like that, right? So that's why, again, I'm not focused on that. A lot of people out there, they seem to be heavily focused on this, but they're ignoring the fundamentals. And I think the fundamentals are what is key, which is why, again, I'm very bullish on COTI. I think it has amazing utility. I can't wait. At the price of $5, wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. If you gain value from this video, make sure to subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. And also, make sure to check out this very fantastic video. I think you all would really love it. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.